Imagine you find the man of your dreams and you're set for life. This person has just told you, I am going to be with you forever. You will never have to think of being provided for. I am going to be that position, that person in your life that you can count on. Only to find out that the man of your dreams is cheating on you with a colleague from work. This is Priyanka's story. She's from India. She lives here in the States. Her and her husband, there are no children involved, but she was under the belief system that her husband was going to be loyal. How can I trust my husband when the person he's cheating on me with, she works with him, but when she's at work or when she's out with family or when she's out with friends, Priyanka, she has proof that shows he brings his colleague, his mistress, to the home and is sleeping in Priyanka's bed. And Priyanka finds out about this. And on top of it, she says, okay, it's obvious to me you want this woman in your life. So it's all or nothing with me. You want her. You tell me she's not going to be in our life, but she continuously is. I want a divorce. He says, no, that's not part of our culture. That's not part of my status. I can't have people looking at me a certain way. Nobody knows but you, because we are intimate, because we are close. Nobody knows that I did this to you, and nobody's going to know because I'm going to stop. Well, she says it best, and you'll hear it on her narrative, how I break it down through her words, but I am her voice in this. Coming up right now on the Greg Stewart Show, you will hear Priyanka through me on what happened, how it's happening, and how she progresses to try to find her identity through a behavior that has taken over her because of her husband's infidelities. But before we go there, please subscribe. Please like, comment, and share. All right, well, let's get into it.
They say home is the one place the world can't reach you. It's the place where the monsters are out because they're locked out. But what happens when the monster already has a key? What happens when the person you loved for 15 years becomes a stranger in your bed? Tonight, we're going to be looking at Priyanka's story, one of my clients. A story about the death of a 15-year bond and the ghost that still haunts the hallways of her home. Priyanka is 35 years of age, and to understand the weight of her pain, you have to understand the history. This wasn't a whirlwind romance. This was a foundation. She fell in love with him 15 years ago, but they've been married for 6. Think about that. 15 years of shattered secrets. 15 years of I love yous, and I'll always be here for you. Now, they didn't have kids yet. Just the two of them and the world they built. But 9 months ago, that world didn't just crack, it shattered. Priyanka discovered that for a full year, 365 days of looking her in the eye, her husband was living a second life. He was having an affair with a colleague. It wasn't just emotional, it was physical. And then she found out the detail that changes a person forever. He didn't just meet her at hotels. He didn't just keep her in the shadows. You see, when Priyanka was gone, he brought her into their home. Think about that. Think about your favorite chair, your bed, your kitchen, the places where you feel most secure. Now imagine a stranger there, invited by the person you trust most. When he was caught, the apologies came pouring out. The typical script, I'm sorry, I'll stop it. It meant nothing. He apologized to the parents because she contacted them. He told his best friend he went silent on the other woman. Priyanka did ask for a divorce, but he refused. He wanted to fix it. But betrayal creates a specific kind of hunger, a hunger for the truth. So Priyanka described herself as being James Bond, literally. She had to find out more. Every locked phone is a threat. Every late night at work is a lie. She hunted, she dug. She found every hidden piece of the puzzle that he tried to bury. She saw the messages, she tracked the timelines. The problem with playing detective in your own marriage is that even when you find the truth, you're the only one that has to live in the crime scene. It's been 9 months now. On the surface, they are trying to be normal. They eat dinner, they watch TV, but the house isn't empty. Priyanka is being followed, not by a person, but by flashbacks. She's sitting on the sofa and she suddenly sees them there. She walks into the bedroom and the air feels cold because she knows who else has been there. He's over it. He's talking about how he hates the old stuff. He wants to move on. He gets angry when she brings this up. But how do you move on when the floorboards are still stained with the memory of betrayal? She's depressed. She's haunted. Her soul feels bruised. And the one person who is supposed to heal her, the one who caused the wound, her husband, wants this to be over. He wants to move forward. But every fight is just a scream for help that refuses to be heard. Priyanka, we're going to get into what I told her during that time and how she can build on her identity, how she can get away from the behavior that's haunting her most, even when the halls are speaking and screaming at her and the visions of the ghosts that run around her home are haunting her. Let's get into that now. Let's talk about some of the things that Priyanka can do when she's destined to be in a marriage, because in India, marriage is sacred. And he broke that sacred feeling, connection, and love. But you still have to play the game because there's a lot of pride for the husband. He can't be looked upon a certain way. Status is everything. And he refuses to move forward when she wants a divorce. Not that she can't, but she just doesn't know how or what to do. Let's get into this case study on how I connected with Priyanka to reestablish her identity again.
Welcome back, everybody. This is Greg Stewart. So, you got to connect on Priyanka and her unfortunate situation. Here she is, basically, with a man that, she loved and adored, and now he's committing the highest level of adultery by bringing someone also in her safe haven in her home. So, the biggest thing is now, what can I do for her? How can I help Priyanka help herself? Because the husband at this time is refusing to divorce her because he thinks he has all the leverage, because he's had so much control for so long of the time that he feels there's no consequences. I can control the situation because she knows about her. She knows I still was going on with this woman. She also knows she's a colleague. So therefore, she'll make her threat. She'll cry a little. She'll yell. I'll put up a fight, which is what she said. He gets mad to, turn the other cheek. He walks into the other room. And that gives him control, by the way. When you're in midstream and you are speaking and all of a sudden they cut you off by walking away, that is the way of them getting control, of taking away your power, your empowerment, whatever way you want to word it. But they're taking control, or looking away anywhere but being focused to you is a way the person will utilize physicality to control. I had a client one time right in front of me doing couples therapy, as if I wouldn't know. His wife would start talking. He was sitting across from her, and he would do steeple position, which is another indicator that I am centered, I am balanced, but most important, I'm a steeple on top of a building. I am in control. And that's how this person was referencing it. I am in control. And I said, are you aware that I'm in the room? Are you aware that I know what you're doing? And he tried to play dumb. And I said, I'd like you to place your arms on your side, not crisscross in front of your groin, but off to the side of your legs, because this took away his power. He didn't want to do that. And he ended up leaving the session. And that's on him. But I emphasized to her personal power. Let's not go on a rant. Let's go on Priyanka here. And so Priyanka, looking to find herself, what do you do in this case? I said, you have more leverage than you think. You have more power than you think. But the key thing is to initiate your power, we have to empower you. We have to empower you in a way so you can look into your resources. And that's what we basically did. Connected her to build her confidence. How did we do that? Not only by utilizing incantations and affirmations to say things to yourself, to connect to yourself, but utilize her everyday life to empower herself. So I said, what do you like to do? I like to take my dog for a walk. Utilize that. As you take your dog for a daily walk, and she does it twice a day, so she's getting 20 minutes each time, which is a total of 40 minutes, I said. You want to empower your personal power, your strength. I am a very powerful woman. I am, and you say your name, almost as if, yes, it is a third person, but by hearing you, anybody could be I, or who this. Priyanka is who she is. You want to recognize your identity and stop living as a behavior. So I said, let's get you walking like that. Let's start your empowerment. Also, once you felt, okay, I recognize me, emphasize to the universe what you want. I deserve better. I deserve a man who will respect me and will treat me wonderfully. And if not right now, I know that's going to happen because you want to emphasize a positive future. But you also want to have the first relationship you want to have in the first place before anyone comes in your life is to have a relationship with yourself, to empower you. I am going to get into a relationship with me, and I'm going to get to connect with the best part of me because I've been a behavior for so long. And I've been in hypnosis, letting this person hypnotize me, saying I'm not going to do this. No one's going to know about my status. No one's going to know about our status. We're going to continue to live. And I will eventually, if not stop sooner rather than later with this person. But he never was clean on when he was stopping. I'm going to stop. I'm going to stop. Okay, when? When is going? Is going mean now? And again, she says, I think the damage is done. I'm walking through the home and I see ghosts. I imagine what this person looks like. I imagine the time they spent in the bed where I sleep, the kitchen where I eat, the bathroom that I use. I am so disheveled. You need a new start within. You need to set your daily, and this person is going to utilize hypnosis still for the negative for you. He's going to use manipulation, everything, because he feels he has gotten away with it before. So he's going to continue to try to take your personal power. And that's why you want to connect with like what we're doing here. I said the most important, with groups outside that can empower you, and not other people that are having pity parties. Oh, I'm like this and that. You don't want certain groups like that. You want empowering groups that are going to build your identity. Get into power walks, and she loves walking. What else do you enjoy? She loves yoga. Do more yoga. Do more. She loves meditation. Do the things that you would do normally if your marriage was great. In this case, empower you when you're in yoga and you're doing a sun salutation or a downward dog. Say, this is my power and I deserve to be treated with respect. And here's the other thing. She goes, I struggle with this. Why do I keep him around? Because the problem is this. You're not mentally divorcing yourself from him fully. You have moments because you get sad. You need to turn that into anger. And you don't want to do nothing aggressive to him, but you want to reach your identity. The reason why I say this is because we think about what we once had. We think about how good this person once was to me, but you're not divorcing yourself mentally from this person. So I'll have people and they'll talk about great memories, and that's reinforcing the stay and comfort, and they give themselves justification on why to stay. But I go, okay, close your eyes for a moment. As you close your eyes and you hear my words and you give me permission to connect with you now, as you are happy to hear what I'm about to say. And she nodded her head in approval and said, I want you to imagine for a moment, because you're contemplating still forgiving him if he lets her go. And that's a big if. I said, so let's imagine that the pattern doesn't change because there's no consequences. And a week goes by, 2 weeks, and it looks clear. Okay, and maybe we are getting better. Maybe I could get over the room thing. Maybe we switch our bedroom to the other side of the house, whatever it is. But let's look at the reality, I said. And I'm watching her. She's very plain. She's very relaxed. she's thinking of the good because that's what she said. I said, now imagine as your eyes are closed that you walk in and you hear giggling from your bedroom. Her body starts contracting. Her area here starts showing anger. And I said, and you go in and you hear other noises. And this person or persons are not aware that you are home because there's music blaring in the background, but you hear enough. And your dog is outside of the door. And the dog greets you. And you walk in and you see your worst nightmare. You already knew it was happening. How are you feeling right now? How are you feeling, Priyanka, right now? She goes, I am freaking, and she said a different word, pissed. And I said, you have to create the visualization, that hypnosis of why you're contemplating moving forward in the first place. This is the only way you're going to build your relationship with you, even when he's trying to manipulate you. Think about, that's why he walks away when you go, why did you choose her? What need was she meeting? Why? I don't want to talk about it. We're not going to talk about it. I'm leaving the room until you can get this out of your head and get over it. Okay. He's not going to stop. He's continued this. If it's not her, it will be someone else. Because somewhere, this is who he is. In the meantime, you have to reinforce those images of how you got here in the first place. And then you have to reinforce your positive of who you are going to become. The woman, the yogi, the fitness person, the mentally fit meditation woman, all the things you told me you are. You're 35, no children. You have an amazing life, regardless of your age, ahead of you, if you choose to now. Because now is the right time. When is it the right time to make positive changes? Now is that time. And you're going to utilize this time. And this is what I emphasize to Priyanka. Well, how is she now? She is still in the house, but she is independent. She just put a down payment on an apartment. It's just temporary, she said, because I plan to have a house. She got a 6-month lease. He now realizes the reality. I'm going to change. I'm going to stop. You're going to change indicates to me that you still haven't changed. I'm going to change. You see, he told her it's over, it's done. And then when he's seeing the reality of consequences and how his status through their circle, as well as everything else that he stands to lose, because I didn't really want to be with that woman. She's just a fling. I'm going to change. But guess what? He's not changing. He's not changing. Just that statement alone, I'm going to, means it never stopped. So guess what? Now you could have it all. And we will work on the particulars, which is now what she's doing. She is leaving the household. She has her attorney. She's found her personal empowerment. And she's created her identity because she realizes I have a lot to offer. I have a lot to offer. And I found this by offering me first. So I don't have anyone inherit my baggage of myself. But this is great. She goes, I actually thank him now. And I go, you do? You thank him? And she said, yes, I thank him because I had to go through this crap to find the real me, because I've been his servant for so long. And I see other things now that I didn't see, other red flags. So this journey was eye-opening. I'm no longer a passenger on his bus. I'm driving the bus. And I go, explain. She goes, well, when you're a passenger, you are being controlled by the driver until they take you to that destination. If you're the driver of the bus, you look through the mirror and you see all the things behind you. And as the bus keeps going forward, those things keep getting smaller and smaller until they're out of sight. He is now out of sight. I don't even see him in the mirror because I'm controlling me now. I am driving my bus. And this was the work that we did. And this is the person she's become, the Priyanka she was meant to be. So if you are out there and you're struggling, if you're hurting and you need someone to talk to, or there's a topic that you'd like to discuss that maybe you don't want to come on, but do you have a client, Greg, that has gone through this? I'm pretty sure I do. If not, I can still give you tools in reference to how to deal. So you have the option of coming on the show just right here, gregcoaching@gmail.com. gregcoaching@gmail.com. We can blur your face. We could change your voice. You could just write and say, I'm going through this. Like I gave you the story with Priyanka today. And you could take control of your life. And this, by the way, it's because we're talking about Priyanka. I want you to know it works both ways. So there's men that go through this. I myself, in my youth, in my 20s, had gone through abuse where the person would say, you know, if I'm such a bad girlfriend, why not just dump me? And when I didn't, she knew no matter what she does to me, she could have her cake and eat it too. So it works both ways until I built my identity, because I became a behavior, because I let lust and ignorance of myself to get in the way of my identity. And that's the thing. Don't let ego control you, because ego equals conflict within or with someone. So until next time, please like, subscribe, comment, share, and I look forward to seeing you on the next Greg Stewart Show. Until then, have a great day or evening, wherever you are.